So, it's good to be back, okay? It's been about 2 weeks ever since I've recorded a video, okay? And it's for good reason too. Got upgrades to the setup, man. So videos are about to be pumping out like fucking crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy, and I mean crazy, because now there isn't really too much holding me back. Now those Premiere Pro export crashes probably won't stop happening, but at least I could restart them, and at least my computer won't crash 7 to 8 times before I could actually export a video. And at least now I could actually put more time into all the small details that come into video editing and actually produce some great quality content. Now, with all that being said, today we're talking about a very controversial topic, and it's going to be very easy for me to get jumbled up because there's just so much shit going on around the world to the point where it's just I don't even fucking know. But yeah, before we get started with this, please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow the IG and Twitter down in the description below. And without further ado, let's get started with this. Now, today we're talking about the gender problem in the West. Yes, the West. For some reason, females and males can't seem to agree on something that they already agree on. That pretty much sums up the whole fucking situation. Like, I'm pretty sure 99.9% of men and 99.9% of women agree that sexual assault and rape is absolutely fucking grimy, and if you do that shit, you're a nasty bitch who deserves to go to hell. I'm pretty sure everyone could agree on that. So why is there an argument? Well, for some reason, there seems to be a group of people on TikTok spawning for both genders, pretty much telling each other that they need to hold each other accountable, or if someone weren't doing this, then this wouldn't happen, or if that didn't happen, then this wouldn't happen, and that, oh, well, you guys do this to us all the time, you guys do this, as if you've seen them do that before. And that leads me to the first point: generalizing. For some reason, people tend to generalize a shit ton on the app, and when you're generalizing to a bunch of young kids who don't even understand the world properly, there's gonna be a huge fucking problem. Now look, when I look at comment sections from TikTok that involve these issues of sexual assault and rape, I see versions of me when I was 13. Someone who's completely oblivious to what was going on and only sided with something that made absolute 100% sense at face value. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty much what everyone on that app does. They pretty much look at every situation, especially things as serious as rape, and they tend to see it at face value. Okay, so men do this more than women? Okay, so let's blame men for not holding other men accountable. As if that's supposed to somehow convince the large number of psychopaths who commit these acts from not doing it. You know, I don't think it starts with the opposite gender. I think it starts with their childhood. People with fucked up childhoods tend to have very fucked up lives unless they get extremely lucky. So maybe we should look into these situations more deeply instead of treating it like a fucking middle school argument over who got the pencil first, or blah blah blah, who's better at this or that. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you are young and you are really like actively having these type of conversations without actually understanding the full situation, maybe you shouldn't be having these conversations, especially on TikTok, where it's very easy to group up a mass amount of people and to get them to agree with what you say without them going in and doing actual research. You know the amount of false narratives I've seen on this app that spawn from things like working out or other things like politics and shit. There is so much misinformation on this app that it's absolutely absurd. I don't think we've ever had an app as misinformed as TikTok, because they're so separated from the real world to the point where they just, I don't even know anymore, man. Like, it seems like this generation is lost, but as soon as you hit the delete button, you start to realize that, oh, well, all these crazies are subject to one app and one app alone, which is TikTok. Okay, so look, I'm gonna give you this first video because it kind of helps my point here. It's very stupid, but you know, I'm just gonna show it. All right.
Acts worldwide. Guess how many women were sexually assaulted in the U.S. alone in 2000?
Y'all suck at math. Y'all's presentation of statistics are just bad. You do realize that 400,000 is 0.25% of the entire population of women in the US, right? That would mean that in the year 2019, just like most other years, you have around a 0.25% chance of being raped. Unless you want to count trans women, but that's not moving the data anywhere. Can y'all please stop with this animal comparison? Please, y'all treat sharks the same way y'all treat black people. Somebody told you a couple stories, or you saw the news once or twice about a black person doing this, that, and the third, so you treat them all like shit. And you blatantly just didn't take into account the mass population difference between great white sharks and human men. Like, y'all watch Jaws one time and just think you're now.
That's why the 97% thing is so fucking dumb. Because out of 1,000 or out of billions of women, you're pretty much basing your whole fucking argument based off of what less than 1% of women actually. That's far less than 1%. I'm not just gonna keep this at a bashing women video. So let's talk about the dudes real quick. Super straight, man. Started off as a joke. I've talked about this before. Turned into something very fucking stupid. Because again, you're over here talking about women as if it's an entire group of women doing this. Oh my god, women, man, they did me so fucking dirty. Like why do girls do this all the time? Like, all girls are the same, blah blah blah, this and that. Play All Girls Are the Same by Juice WRLD. Man, shut your cringy ass up. And girls, oh, kill all men, really, men. And then when people bring up the fact that why are you generalizing an entire group? Well, it said men, I didn't say all. Oh, shut the fuck up, man. Who the hell told you to skip your entire second grade year of English language arts and shit? Like, who the fuck told you to skip that shit? Or did you just forget about it? All right, now look, I'm gonna get into the next video because this one is extremely fucking interesting. All right, and this one's gonna blow your minds, apparently.
Pretty sure nobody's ready for. I have been sexually assaulted more times by women than I.
No, they're not ready for this conversation, and let me explain to you why. Because it's putting accountability back on women. And honestly, this is not the first time that I've heard this. I've heard this from numerous of different women. And on top of that, it happened to me as well. Because some ladies think it's okay to touch on another girl's chest or another girl's bottom, and when asked, can you not do that? That's weird. Why are you doing that? A lot of them do say because we're women, we have the same body parts. No, that's weird. Especially the women that be leaving scissor emojis under other girls' TikToks, especially if they're not lesbian. It's weird. If you check out a lot of these famous TikTokers, not even famous, pretty TikTokers, and check out their comments, it's full of women being gross, leaving the scissors emoji, or they'll comment, oh, if it was just me and you, I'll do this and this and this. And guess what? Those comments are not coming from men. It's coming from women. And I've seen different TikTokers that are women that say to their followers, don't comment things like that. That is weird. Why aren't we talking about that?
That's why I have such a hard time wrapping my head around it, because the discussion is so fucking stupid. It is genuinely the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. This is the most middle school-esque argument I've seen, and it's over such a serious topic, what makes it really hard for me to kind of input myself into that, or even just invest myself into it. Because when you're talking about things like this, you can't fix these problems by holding people accountable. You can't fix rape by holding people accountable. Sure, it may go down, but what will that psychopath think? What will that person with lack of empathy really think about your opinions? Will that stop them from getting that 8-year-old girl down the street? Or will that stop that fucking teacher from preying on their students if they're really that fucked up in the mind? Do you really think a whole fucking TikTok post bashing them is seriously gonna make them feel like, oh, you know what, maybe I should change my mind? No, that's not how the world works. Those people grew up in extremely fucked up environments, okay? Maybe they didn't get enough attention as a kid. Maybe they were hit in the head a few times. Maybe they had a few mental disorders and other things like that. And I'm not saying that to kind of be like, oh, well, it's fine, it's acceptable. Like, no, those people deserve to have life in prison if they seriously did do that. But to hold an entire group of people accountable over such a small percentage of people who actually commit those acts, it's fucking stupid. It's not gonna help anything, and it's only making this situation worse. Look, I don't understand the point of this. Is the point to be united, to have equality? Or is it to just prove yourself right? Are you really willing to have equality, or do you just want to have superiority? If a person is really trying to understand your point and you go on to bash them, are you seriously like are you really fighting for equality? Can you look at yourself from a third person perspective and think that you yourself are like a person who gives people equal opportunities to speak their mind? It's about showing that men aren't the only ones who fall under this category, literally. So this person pretty much contradicted themselves. You know, I just thought that I'd use this comment to kind of bring up my point, because a lot of people tend to be like, oh, well, you think he won? Oh, really? You really think that your opinion is better than mine? Oh my god, you really thought you did something there, didn't you? Oh, so somehow you think that by somehow debunking a point that has to do with rape, someone's just gonna be like, oh my god, let's go, your fucking point's invalid. Oh, no, that's not how the world works once again, okay? The whole point of this argument isn't to fucking debunk, or it is to debunk a false narrative, but it's not to win. It's not to be the right person, but it's to better understand the topic of which you're talking about, because let's be real here, none of these people really understand sexual assault. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow the IG and Twitter down in the description below. And yeah, this is Ibra signing out. I'll see y'all later, man.